Hello everybody. This is my video discussion on the Poverty Mindset Round 2 video. Um, I really enjoyed this video for lots of reasons. The main reason being that, this guy, he's showing people and proving to people that we don't have to be a product of our environment. So he talked about inheriting the poverty mindset, inheriting the um, you know, my mom was poor, my dad was poor, I'm gonna be poor, my kids are gonna be poor, uh, stuff like that. So I really like that he showed that you can break those generational curses and not be a product of your environment and everything like that. And something that I learned recently with the whole inflation thing that happened um, recently, I was being older and everything. When I was younger, I didn't really understand it, but you know, like for example, if you have $20,000 in the bank, you're trying to buy a house that's $100,000, then inflation happens. Well, now the house that costs $100,000 costs 130,000, but you still only have the 20,000. So it's like it's not like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, or the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. It's not like that, but it's like people who owned houses before the inflation thing happened were were able to sell their houses for more money because the prices of the wood and everything went up. So me not having any assets, I realized how just trying to save money in the bank um, is a really hard way to gain real wealth or real large amounts of money. And I really liked how he talked about if someone's rich or has a lot of money, people tend to think um, that it's something evil or something bad or something like that. And this reminded me of philosophy. When I was in philosophy, we learned about you know, the people in the palaces and the castles, be having these extravagant parties, drinking food, uh, you know, tend to be more sexually provocative and all these types of things. So the people in the slums or in the poorer areas would look at these people and say, "Oh, look, they're being immoral. They make money because they do shady things. So they're evil." And then so the they said that the mindset of the poor people was more like a more higher morals. Like we're gonna not have sex until we're married. We're gonna work and save money and do things the right way and everything like that. So it was like this battle of mindsets where like the rich look down on the poor, like, oh, they're nasty, they're dirty, uh, lazy, blah blah blah, and then the poor looked at the rich like, oh, they're nasty, they're dirty, um, and I don't think it's necessarily true, um, but applying it to my world, so I'm 34 years old and I'm still renting, and one thing that like I don't have a lot of information about stock markets. I actually tried to invest on Robinhood and some other things. I put like $100 each into two different stocks, and now uh, my Robinhood account, something happened to it. And I think last time I checked, that 100 turned into $8 or something like that. So I tried it once, and for me, it seems a little like gambling, but I know I don't have all the information of it. Like you said, index funds and IRAs or whatever, all these different acronyms for stock markets stuff. Like I don't really understand it all, but it's one of the reasons why I'm continuing to go to school. Um, and I know that eventually my VA benefits are going to run out for school, and I'm going to have to uh, continue my education on my either my own dime or getting more student loans. Um, so one of the reasons I took this business class was to try to learn a bit more about business because I did get an LLC here in Kirksville. At one point, I had appointments. I was going around town looking at buildings to rent, because I wanted to open my own store. I wanted to open a business here in town that I thought Kirksville was lacking, or is lacking, and that's a place for people like me, like nerdy people, to go and buy trading cards and sit down at the table and play with each other. And uh, people that don't have a computer can come, like not like the library computers, but like gaming computers. They can come in and play video games, even if they can't afford it at home, for a small fee or free Wi-Fi. Um, video games, uh, trading cards, just bunch, just all that things of that nature. Um, Now, another thing that I don't have a lot of information on is that since I am a veteran, um, I have this thing called a VA home loan. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I can start flipping houses. I can get a loan, buy a house that's run down, put some money into it, sell it, and repeat the process. Because one thing about the VA loans is that you can use it, pay it off, and then use it again. So that's another thing that I was thinking about was getting into real estate, it, up to the point to where maybe someday I own 5 houses and I can rent them out and become, I don't like the term landlord, but um, a leaser or something like that. But I've I do I did have that mindset where, because my mom was poor, um, my grandparents weren't necessarily wealthy, but they had good jobs and everything like that. I think when my grandma died, she passed down about $13,000 to me and my sister because my dad died when I was a baby, so we got his share of the will. Um, so very thankful for that, but at the same time, um, I've always thought I was gonna, be the one that broke the generational curses, because my dad and mom were drug addicts and everything like that. So um, I also wanted to, be the first person in my family to make real generational wealth for my family, so that way, if I pass away, my wife and kids would have, you know, wealth or whatever, and then teach my kids to be smart with their money and stuff so they can leave their kids wealth and create generational wealth for my family. I want to do that. Um, I don't know what the future holds for any of us, but right now, me and my wife are trying to find a house to buy because I've been renting my whole life, and I kind of think of it as this analogy where, I'm paying someone else to live in their box, and the box being the home, and I'm at the mercy of these other men and women, where I'm taking my wife and family and moving into these houses, and I just want to own my own home, have my own assets, have my own property, my own land, and I'm working up to that. But in terms of the stock markets and stuff like that, I'm scared to put money that uh, worked so hard to save or anything like that into something that might be volatile, or and my experience with the stock market has already been kind of negative because I've already lost a little bit of money. The money didn't go up, the stocks just kept going down. And so to apply it to my world, I guess I need and want to keep learning about how I could make my money work for me. Um, a lot of people say making money in your sleep is a big thing, you know, in terms of success. Um, so I know one thing. I also wanted to become a college teacher at one point, just recently, So I haven't really chosen a major yet, but I know I want to choose something that I'm going to enjoy, and that's going to allow me to um, have time to create, do side projects or side business and create wealth and stuff like that. It's a great video. It's like the video said, the information is out there. We just have to learn the information. But if you have the information, like he said, and you don't apply it, then it's not really going to do anything. So yeah, I think this video was great. In summary, we don't have to be a product of our environment. We can learn the information if we want to and apply that information in order to be successful or create wealth, or just to be happy. So I hope this suffices as a as a discussion video, and I thought the other discussion was great as well about the supply chain issues because there's a lot of stuff about domestic stuff and not outsourcing stuff, and I have a lot of thoughts about that as well. Um, but I don't think people who have a lot of money are evil, and I don't think people who don't have money are lazy or dirty or anything like that. Um, but I do think that society has put that kind of label on a lot of different people. Um, I think that's it. I took some notes down while watching the video. Um, hope everybody has a great day, and thank you. So, see you next time.